Alright, this is going to be the tutorial on how to use the clone tool in Photoshop. So basically the clone tool is actually a very powerful tool in Photoshop. We're going to be mainly working with these three different images. But just to give you an idea what the clone tool can do is it can basically help to get rid of the distractions in your photo. For example, these are going to be the three photos that we're going to be mainly editing for the clone tool. For those of you that are done early with editing your objects point of view photos, because some of these tools the clone tool might be something you may want to use in the future, or something that you might want to apply to one of your photos right now. But basically what I can do with the clone tool is for this photo here. If I really wanted to, I could get rid of the stars off the hand in this picture. So, basically it's a tool to help to erase and get rid of things that you don't want. This photo here, I can get rid of the distraction in the background. So if you don't want to blur it, you can actually get rid of these headlights in the picture. And this is the more challenging part of this assignment. If you get to this part but basically you can use the clone tool to get rid of these two people in the photograph. Now, this is like complete mastery if you can do this with Photoshop, getting rid of these two people. So, if anybody's able to get rid of the people and make it look convincing, I'll give you, a free project grade pretty much if you can do that. But, it's got to look really convincing with getting rid of it. So, to get started with the clone tool. Alright, we're going to, so just to start off, I would start off with the one with the headlights, the guy with the headlights, and you just click and drag that onto Photoshop. You guys are going to have to download these off of the Google Classroom, and then, download off the Google Classroom, and then upload it onto Photoshop. But, alright, so let me show you the clone tool here. It's pretty easy to use. So, just real important though, do you create a new layer in Photoshop? If you want, you can just decide the clone tool, just so you know what you're working on. Alright, so, but real important, you never want to work on your original image. You always want to create a layer mask, or make sure there's an adjustments that creates a layer for that. So I'm going to work on this layer. That's this clone tool. And to get to the clone tool, it's right below the paintbrush. Alright, it's going to either say clone stamp tool or pattern tool. So you may have to click and hold the mouse, but you want to make sure it's on the clone tool. And when you load up the clone tool, it's going to give you a brush. And basically the way the clone tool works is, well, first we got to make some adjustments to these. Alright, so just make sure that you're working with a pretty small brush. It's about a good size. Change the opacity to 30. So this is going to change your picture a little bit at a time. And where it says current layer, real important, changes to all layers, because you want it to affect all the other layers in the picture. If you click it on the current layers, it's not going to work. So you're in the layer with the clone tool, and all you're going to do is you're going to hold Alt or Option, and it's going to give you a bullseye. And basically what happens is when I hold Alt and Option, I click on this white area here. I'm going to zoom in a little closer so I can see things. Okay, hold Alt Option, clone tool, Alt Option, and it's going to basically make a copy of that area I just clicked on. So now when I highlight it over the headlight or the light, it's going to, and I try to erase it, it's going to erase it a little bit at a time. Maybe you can change it to 50% just to speed it up a little bit more. But what's happening now is if you see it when I hold my mouse, there's a crosshair right close to my brush. That's the area that the brush is cloning. So it's cloning those areas. So if I click right here, it's highlighting that spot right there. So basically, you're just going to choose areas that you want to clone. So when I get up to this part here, I'm going to have to reselect a new area and clone that spot. Alright, but basically you're just going to paint with the brush, and this is just going to get rid of it. So I'm doing it at 50% time. If you want, you can change it to 100. It's up to you. I feel like it's easier to do it in little sections, but yeah, it's really your preference. Alright, but basically you're just gonna click until like until the headlight is gone. And then when you get closer to the edge right here, alright, you're just gonna have to be real careful with your brush. Oops, clone tool. And you know, just make sure not to erase his head. Alright. But that's basically the clone tool there. And if you hide your you can also use the eraser too for this part. So, you know, like touch up on these areas if it's, oops, I'm gonna get a harder edge brush. So this one's better. Make it smaller. I'll clean up that spot right there. Alright, but you know, if you slowly keep working with the clone tool, then that's gonna get rid of the. Again, I'm like always, you know, creating new points that where I want to highlight. Yeah, you basically want to highlight those areas that are close to it. So, but that's how you're gonna use the clone tool. It's just clicking and just highlighting the areas that are close by to the area that you want to erase. You know, this one's pretty easy, but the one with the hand, and especially the last one where you're getting rid of the two people, those are the more challenging ones to do. But yeah, just experiment with the clone tool because, you know, there may be some distractions in the background. If it's really small, you can, you know, get rid of easily with this tool. And you know, depending on how far you want to go with the Photoshop, you can literally get rid of anything that you want.